Hey guys, so this is going to be about episode 11 of season 5 of Pretty Little Liars. It's the episode before the fatal finale, which is next Tuesday. A lot happened. A lot was uncovered, but at the same time, of course, there's still things that are left unanswered. So let's just get into it. The biggest thing that stuck out to me was at the very end, not anything to do with Rosewood. I'm glad to see that Caleb is not actually bad, or just that they were talking about Ravenswood, not Rosewood. But at the same time, I don't want to hear about Ravenswood. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't into that show, and I feel like the executive producer is just trying so hard to keep her Ravenswood going, and it's just like, alright, chill with the Ravenswood stuff. But I mean, I guess they have to resolve it somehow, because they can't do it through Ravenswood, so they're choosing to do it through Pretty Little Liars. I had to look it up what those fireflies meant. Basically, the fireflies at the end pretty much might symbolize that Caleb is still in danger, because the people, or that girl Miranda that he helped out, the reason why he went to stayed in Ravenswood, she died. So and it has something to do with the firefly. So either it means that she's still alive, or that he's in danger, because on the Ouija board, that's another thing, like, really guys, the Ouija board, supernatural stuff, the Ouija board pointed to goodbye, and you know, we know that Miranda is dead, so that might have been why that happened. But I don't know why they're introducing, like, literally the supernatural. Like, this time the Ouija board just moved on its own, and he was just talking about it in regards to Miranda, so whatever. But basically, Caleb's not bad, so that's a good thing. But what I was talking about at the end was when Spencer showed Aria and Emily the tape that Melissa sent her. Why do they keep her? I still don't feel like Spencer is guilty, but I guess she probably did hit Bethany over the head, and Melissa's smart self buried Bethany. Like, I guess no one checks pulses, because Mrs. De Laurentiis buried Allie, and Melissa buried Bethany. Like, who does this? Like, why do you guys not check the pulse to see if the person is alive before you bury them? Like, I don't get it. Because that's two girls. Two girls were buried alive on the same night. One actually made it out because she wasn't hit over the head with a shovel, and the other one really died. Unless Allison was lying about the whole thing of Mrs. De Laurentiis burying her, because what it's looking like now is that Allison, because I think it's Allison anyway, Allison dressed Bethany Young like herself and faked her death that way. So, like, Bethany, that's why Bethany was wearing the exact same clothes as Allison, was also buried alive, and ended up actually being dead, and all the while everyone thought it was Allison who died. I don't really know. What do you guys think? Who was the person responsible for Bethany's death? Like, okay, Melissa buried her, but why was it? How did it happen that Bethany Young, a girl from out of town who has a connection to Mrs. De Laurentiis, ends up actually dying, and it's thought that Allison De Laurentiis was dead when she actually just ran away? What was really going on there? Because I'm a little confused. I'm a little like, who is the mastermind? Was Melissa lying to Spencer when she said that, oh, it was your fault, and I buried Bethany, and she pretty much killed Bethany because she was covering for Spencer, thinking that Bethany was dead? Or do you think that Melissa had something to do? Melissa thought it was actually Allison and buried her, thinking that it was Allison. Like, what do you think really happened? That could go so many different ways. So I want to see how they play it out next episode. Who knows how they're going to play it out. I did notice that Allison was not in this episode at all, and pretty much the girls are against her. They were going to out her in the beginning of the episode, and A tells them, shut your mouth, pretty much. And as always, A always knows what's going to happen. So I still want to know who A is. I'm not losing sight of that. Yes, Bethany Young is dead. We want to know why that happened, who did it. But who is A? Do not forget the main question. Who is A? What else happened that was notable? So yeah, Spencer thinks that she's pretty much responsible for Bethany's death. Tanner wants to know who killed Bethany and thinks it's one of the girls. I thought that Tana was lying to Arya's dad when she was like, oh, one of the girls are gonna confess tomorrow. Unless it's Allison who's gonna do it, but I don't think so. I don't, like, why would you tell somebody that someone is gonna confess tomorrow unless you want to see what they're gonna do in turn to see if they're the ones responsible, you know, and try to cover it up somehow. That's how I think, like, that's the reason why Tanner told Arya's dad that, not because she actually was gonna get a confession tomorrow. But who knows? Because I don't trust Tanner, because she's a little sus herself. Why did Emily go to, what's his name, Ezra, for help? Yes, he does have the hookups, but why can't he just tell them what he does to get these answers? He's not a detective. He's not a mystery writer. He's not a, I don't know, a sleuth. Well, he is, technically. You know, like, why do they keep going to him? And how is it that he all of a sudden found the footage with Allison and Cyrus? How come the cops couldn't find that? How did he find it, but the cops couldn't find that? So, I'm wondering what's Ezra's deal still. I want to know. I still feel like he's not trustworthy, so I want to know, like, what's his motive now. He had some, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he had some kind of, like, comment about Allison when Emily was like, yeah, she, something to the effect of, like, yeah, she just drags everybody in and da-da-da-da, but yeah, still don't trust Ezra. What else? Arya and Mona. That was weird to me, like, them having their little powwow moment in the bathroom. Like, what is this? I still don't trust Mona. And I find it funny that, that Arya, of all people, got Mona to break down. Yeah, I just found that weird, and I found it like, okay, why are they doing this? No one's gonna trust Mona unless you do trust Mona. I personally don't. Another thing, Arya heard when Tanner said that, said that to her father, that, you know, someone's gonna confess, and I found it funny, like, Arya is not more on edge, because, okay, the Bethany Young thing she didn't do, but she still did kill Shauna. Like, yes, it was self-defense. They should have just, like, even though A told them to shut up, they should have still went, because the more they hold out, the more guilty they look. Now, Tanner thinks they have something to do with Bethany Young's death, and they didn't, technically. Maybe Spencer did, but the rest of them didn't. So it's like, what's going on? I feel like Tanner is also giving a little bit too much information, so maybe she's just being misleading to the girls. She was like, oh, well, you guys weren't too far away from Bethany, so I had to figure that you guys were thinking about how she died and who killed her, and they're like, no, I didn't give it a thought. Like, what kind of people are you? With all the weird stuff that happened in your town, you're gonna say you didn't give a thought to who killed Bethany Young? Oh, these girls have not learned as yet. What else happened? I'm sorry. I'm really trying to think of what I remember. There was the Caleb thing. There was Spencer. There was Arya, Emily, Hannah. Hannah was just focused on Caleb this episode, right? Yeah, so pretty much I just want to know what really went down that night, the night that Bethany died. Allison ran away. Like, I'm glad that Spencer made the connection that they were wearing the exact same clothes, so that's not a coincidence. And I want to know, where's that going to lead to? Also, where was Allison this whole episode? What was she doing? Oh yeah, she was away with her dad. That's what she was doing. But at the same time, I want to know, what is it that, like, did Allison plan to kill Bethany for some reason? Does Allison have a split personality that she wanted to kill Bethany? Like, did Mrs. De Laurentiis want to kill Bethany? Like, what was going on? And who hit Allison over the head? Because still, if Spencer hit Bethany over the head, then who hit Allison over the head? And why were both of these girls hit over the head and buried alive? This is not a coincidence. This is something that needs to be figured out, and I don't understand what the heck happened. And I want to know who A is, and I didn't lose sight of that. I feel like the writers are still, like, putting a whole bunch of fluff on top of the show, so we get you know, like we forget about who is A, the whole thing that started. Who is A? That's the what I want to know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If I forgot anything, definitely comment down below. I'm a little tired, sorry guys. But yeah, let me know what your theories were for this episode. Do you think that Allison planned the whole thing with Bethany, or do you think that someone else is the reason why Bethany died and Allison ran away and all of that? Who do you think A is? Melissa's now out of the picture back in London, but what the hell was really going on? Like, what really happened there, guys? I don't know. So yeah, definitely leave your comments down below. Like if you liked the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!